Welcome back to the VR League Onward Invitational, brought to you by Intel. One series done today, which sees beginners, the only European representatives here, leave the competition in 4th place, and we move on to our losers bracket final, which is going to be between Mob Squad and SMC Tactical. Mob Squad have been chilling out so far. SMC Tactical are on the charge. With me here, guys recovered from a mammoth series and a really good contest to get their competition proper underway today. Bowie and Radar, you recovered from that? Good, let's move on. So, Mob Squad against SMC, we need to get into that. And it's exciting to see these two teams square off against each other. And it's exciting to see what Mob Squad can do to get into the game, or what SMC are going to do, having fought and made it here when it looked like they weren't going to do that.
Yeah, it was very, very close. There was a lot of very intense play, and SMC really kind of feeling it. Mob Squad, though, have definitely been watching carefully and taking in a lot of intel from that. So exciting stuff. Plots, Arsenic, Squigookan, Arsemper, Poopachu, and Nolomite stepping up to the plate to play against a very on fire SMC Tactical.
We saw good action out of them yesterday. We saw them nearly get the guaranteed grand final spot, but eventually they fell to Globochem. They'll look for that rematch. They'll look to take the whole title. They look like this.
The reason why I started playing VR esports opposed to traditional esports is because I really found the technology to be something that brought my love for video gaming back to myself.
Probably because I see VR as the future of gaming. I love the chance to be a part of that.
I practice with my teammates almost daily, I would say.
We focus on communication a lot and learning how not to play as individuals, really, but how to play as a team, supporting each other's moves.
I would say that the axe to grind that we have would definitely be with Globochem. We went up against them in the finals for the league championship recently, and it went to the 5th match. We lost 3-2, but I have to say that I didn't have the opportunity to play in that because I was out of town for that, so I'm looking to get some revenge.
Well, we're not worried, but we are cautious. We know we're up against some very good players, some very good teams, but we're confident we'll do well. I think all the teams are very excited to see how we compete against each other when all computers are the same, all the technology is the same, we're on a local area network, we're all using Oculus.
I would always say that whenever you're performing on a stage, it adds some pressure to it, but I guess the best of us always rise to the occasion, don't we? To win the tournament, that would just be a dream come true, as well as to be able to be the ambassadors of this new genre, the esports, and bring home a championship would just be the greatest.
Mob Squad, welcome to the stage. You saw them yesterday. Feels like more than a day ago. But they are on stage. They are ready. They've been setting up for quite some time now. They are looking happy to be there. That's Plots in the back of the corner. Arsenic squatting down on the side. Nolomite to the left. Poopachu to the right as the camera pans along towards their opponents, who are in position. They've had a little bit of a break, and you need it in this game, don't you? In Onward, it's a very physically demanding game. Mr. Beefy there, who was saying in his interview with Lethal after they won the previous match, he was saying he's hurting right now.
Listen, the Mob Squad are cold, these are warm, they're red hot, but they're tired now.
Yeah, that's it. Honey Half, Mr. Beefy, Poln Cake, Captain Sota, and Landon Jordan. Meet SMC Tactical.
I think our team, SMC Tactical, is kind of known for being the aggressive team, and I think by switching it up is probably going to throw them off a little bit.
We've always been the underdog, and that's what we do. We make great plays with great tactics that the other teams will not be expecting, and that's why we are here today.
Our team captain, who was unfortunately not able to make it, and we're trying to make him proud.
I think that Landon Jordan is one of our best players because he is really, really quick on his feet, and he will be the one who will entry frag a lot, and that's really important in this game. And you want to outnumber your opponent right at the start.
I feel like if we were to win, not only would we feel accomplished, every season, every time that we play these teams, it seems like we're always right there, but then something happens and we just lose it by that much. I think it would feel great. It'd feel great to me, it'd feel great to the people at home watching, and I know it would feel great to Sickness because he knows that we wouldn't have made it this far without him.
SMC Tactical, Mr. Beefy up front there. Had a little bit of stretch, had a little bit of food. I have behind him the wild card who's delivered again and again, and I think we're going to say so at some point, no matter how much this map turns out. I think we'll no doubt call out Captain Soda in the back there for doing a great performance. Pancake on the right, Jordan just off the front of shot on stage. As Mr. Beefy rigging up these brilliant accessories, which some of these players are using. It's still kind of a sort of not quite 50-50 mix of who uses those and who doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, some people just really can't live without it. Some people swear by it. And some
I
people
bet it's the sort of thing that once you've got used to it, you can't live without it.
You'd think so, but some people own. A lot of people, everyone down there, almost everyone owns one. That doesn't mean they're using them. It's strange. Every time I've got one, I use it. I couldn't live without it.
Yeah. Are you good with it?
Yes.
Yeah. Is that why you only got a couple of kills earlier on, right?
Yeah, I knew you were going to come back to
the
that.
higher the pitch, the lower the truth.
Listen, it was a charity fight down there. I didn't want to hog the limelight.
Well, generous of you. Okay, so map bans are in. This is what we're going to see between Mob Squad and SMC Tactical. SMC banned out Downfall. Mob Squad banned out Bazaar. We go to Suburbia and Quarantine. Suburbia being SMC's pick and Quarantine being Mob Squad's pick. So Suburbia and Quarantine and Cargo is where we'll settle it. Volk on all sides, you're not surprised to hear.
Yeah.
Suburbia, Quarantine and Cargo. That sounds like some maps we've seen these teams do and know well.
Yeah, simple kind of straightforward picks there from both teams. Everyone's been performing quite nicely on Suburbia that we have seen. And Quarantine, obviously. We saw Mob Squad specifically yesterday on Quarantine perform very nicely against beginners, so that was kind of good from them. So it's going to be interesting to see how they fare, especially with a very, very warm SMC. You know, SMC playing on larger stages, but having that epic fight in that map 3 on a much smaller stage, and Suburbia are going to kind of echo that a little bit, I feel.
I mean, I don't blame Mob Squad for picking Quarantine when they've just seen SMC lose to beginners on it.
At the end of the day, I'm surprised that SMC haven't banned it out after their performance there. Mob Squad are going to be hungry to take this Quarantine map.
Mob Squad have also banned out, their first ban was on Bazaar, which is where SMC started their charge towards taking themselves into this map. So Suburbia, Quarantine and Cargo is what we have for you. Mob Squad and SMC Tactical. Mr. Beefy getting a rest when he can, just stretching his knees out. We go then to our losers bracket final. The winner of this gets a guaranteed at least $2,000 US for becoming runner-up in this tournament. The winner of this, as well as that, will face Globochem in the grand final. SMC would love to continue the charge there. Mob Squad would like a rematch against them, and we've had a few of them during the seasons of Onward that we've ever had. We had one yesterday as well. Let's go then. Pansy and Nightfire will take us into the losers bracket final.
Thank you so much, and yeah, what a pleasure it is to be back. It feels like we did that show match years ago.
Yesterday?
Yeah, it had to have been. It had to have been.
Feels like it. It's been a really long time. I'm pretty excited about this Suburbia map coming up. Mob Squad, SMC Tactical, with how well SMC Tactical has been playing. Some close quarter maps. Should see some high octane plays. It's going to be exciting.
Should. I mean, this is going to be a fun one of, the warmed up against the coming in cold. And I mean, I tend to sit with the, you want to warm up a bit, but when the game is as physical as it is, as we're seeing this game be, you literally, your whole body can be against you. We saw the way when they walked off the stage there, SMC, they were put through the ringer, but they're back into it, and we are back into game. Kicking off on Suburbia, it'll be SMC on the attack and Mob Squad on the defense.
I'm kind of curious what kind of positions Mr. Beefy is going to take here. He has a sore back. This is a lot of crouching positions on this map. I actually suspect him to maybe play into that, play farther back in his position where he can peek up over the over some windows or something like that.
I like this play from Arsenic. A little further ahead of where I'd expect. Nice little position. Going to make it hard for them to even get any real estate gathered for the SMC side. That's going to hold a little bit of ground. I'm wondering if they're going to check on that as it's in the back of their minds here, pushing up on that western side.
Yeah, this is a really nice defensive position. He's using those bushes to his advantage. You can see right through those, and Hooney's doing the same. He's trying to take some suppressive shots over towards where Pupachu is. He may suspect he's sitting behind some of those shrubs, and maybe he can even see the head peeking over. Pupachu, he has the potential here to shut down this entire east side approach. But he has to be patient. A good smoke. They're coming out. Arsenic with a really nice tag on that west side, and he's going to get traded with Pancake there.
Yeah, he tried to back out and hope that he could get away with it. Not to be the case. Pancake had already pushed up a little further than where he'd picked up the initial kill, and there's no follow-up off the back of that either. A couple of shots come through for sure, but beyond that, the smokes are being put into play. And everyone tries to just calm the pace down a second. They don't want to just instantly get picked up in the gunfire.
Yeah, and I feel like we haven't had this objective very often, but this sort of strategy to push on this side is pretty common. So Pupachu's in a nice defensive position, something you would expect. You're kind of anticipating some of these smokes to come out. And Nolamite in a really nice spot. He should be able to hear these footsteps from Soda and Pancake.
Pupachu's in trouble. Tucked down. Trying to hold on.
Yeah, you can sort of see the 2x2 split here. They're going to try and put pressure on both sides of the map at the same time. The smoke's coming out on this side as well. The communication's coming out. They know where the smokes are, and they're in really good position. It's going to be hard for SMC Tactical to push up on these guys. They're forcing them to come to them.
Good
really
trade
nice
comes
trade.
in. Huni there going to be getting back into it, going to put down Pupachu, who's holding that entire eastern side. You could see him behind the kind of constructed cover that was put into play, but this is going to encourage movement. You can see Soda could be in trouble here if he doesn't expect plots, and plots catches him out there as well. So we're down to a 2v2 situation.
Yeah, and this is actually interesting. They have the option to safely push over on this east side right here. They have the smokes on objective. Nolamite and plots are not looking over here, so if they can somehow maybe get across without Nolamite spotting them, there's some potential for a flank along that north side of the map.
That's at 2v3, 2v2.
Plots over here might run into Pancake. Really aggressive, gets him down. Nice job.
See them trying to work out, is it 2v2, 2v3? You heard the comms there coming out, and it is now a 2v1. So down to the last man standing for SMC. He's going to have a lot of work cut out ahead of him. Very viable. We've seen big work coming in. I'm not sure if Huni can get it done, but we're going to find out now. Working his way towards that western side along that back road.
Yeah, it's interesting to see Huni rotate towards the gunfire. You know, he had that east approach, and really once Plots made that move, he could be capturing objective right now, and they would have no idea. But maybe he's a little eager for a kill, eager for a pick, wants to maybe even it out 1v1, have a better shot at going in for that cap.
Could do. Bit of a round and round we go. Timing could be on one of the other teammates. We'll see. Huni still having a look. Potts is actually ahead of him, so this is going to be an interesting one. He might be able to time him on this. Depends on who sees who. The fog plays in. FOV here. They don't get to see everything. They obviously do not have the X-ray, the names. They don't have what we have here. Huni now slows it down again. Has a little look through. Sees if he can spot anything through the hedgerow.
Plots is really far away now from the objective. If Huni can get this pick onto Nolamite, and he should suspect Nolamite's there, he sees his dead partner there, he should have an idea how did he get killed. And that is a common spot to put someone. You usually put someone in that balcony. It's a really nice defensive position. It's an angle that you can only shoot at, you only are going to end up killing somebody with if they are rushing your objective.
Huni's got a time limit on this though, keep in mind, 1 minute and 53. He does need to consider that. We've seen, you know, people not being aware of the time. It's not in the UI like you'd normally play in any other FPS game. It's on your wrist, it's on your tablet, you've got to look for it. And he is creeping his way forward. Trying to be cautious and careful. We already kind of discussed that the other teammate of Nolamite has moved away. Nolamite was very aggressive before. He was one of the players who came in that applied a lot of pressure there, but Huni works his way up towards SUV, has a little look around again.
I believe he was that sub player we were talking about from Mob Squad that was in there threading the needle, getting some.
And he came in for this map.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he did well on it, so I understand why they want him back in. It'll be interesting to see if he picks up this Huni half pick. I don't think Huni has any smokes available here either, so he's just going to have to rely on getting over there and getting the shot off first. If he does, this is very likely a cap for SMC Tactical, so this is a huge move right here.
Let's see how close Huni can get. Nolamite is not obviously far away. He's playing objective here. He's playing safe. Huni's working his way forward cautiously and carefully.
Huni's got to know he's there. Huni has to have some semblance he's there. No, he doesn't. Nolamite, they're going to peek out right here.
To wait. Oh, he's going to look back. Nolamite surely got it. He does. Secures the kill. And Mob Squad get the first on the board.
Yeah, Huni half, I think, went with the pad there. He went to go pull that out, and yeah, just not. He thought he had checked that angle completely. He was definitely looking over there. He was looking right at Nolamite, but he just didn't hold that angle long enough. And yeah, once he came out, pad was out, no chance of defending himself, and a nice defensive position from Nolamite. I'm really shocked that in terms of these competitive players, they're not aware of that spot. I guess it's really a common spot in the league. So good to see that it's still effective, but I'm surprised.
I think, again, this is one of those things where wear and tear becomes a factor for SMC. They've been put through the paces. Trying even just, again, the thing is that you'll often see is that players will look at a spot, but they won't do it with the intent of a player being there, because you're just going through the motions, right? You're just keep going forward, keep getting towards the objective. Especially when you've been thinking about these things for a while here. And they're going to be, as said, a little tired. But again, you've got to, that's how you kind of define really good and extremely good players from each other, ones who will check those angles with the intent of the player being there, being very thorough about that sort of thing.
Looks like we have some, I think he dropped one of his controllers in excitement or something happened there, so has to pick it up and reset, put the straps back on, and we should be hopping into this map pretty shortly. Looking at the map, I'm not seeing like too many in-depth drawings. They don't seem to be using the in-game map as much as they were in the past. Maybe they have some more discussed strategies, some more concrete plans for this map. I would assume that they sat down last night, had talked to Sickness, talked to some of the other team members in their squad, because they have more than just this team here, and maybe formulated some plans to come up against Mob Squad. Because this is the team you knew you were going up against. You knew you were going to see them in the semis.
I'll go middle.
See what they can pull out here for a defense. It's on the same mirrored objectives. That's how this works. It's a competitive lobby, so both teams have to defend the same objective once, and then it randomly rotates. Some early shots coming out, suppressive fire over on that east side, actually right up the middle from Plots, and he tags one already. Really nice done. This is a 5v4 advantage. Captain Soda's really close to Squig, and if he peeks this, he should have him. Squig should hear him. Shots fired. Squig doesn't look. Captain Soda tags two.
How has that happened? Completely unawares. Just, that's worrying. That's really worrying to see.
Yeah, that's an interesting tunnel vision move from Mob Squad. There's not something you would expect to see out of them with all that rest and all that time to prepare. You'd think they'd be focused.
Well, we're into a 3v2. 2 remainders for Mob Squad. Clipping into the fence there. Arsenic is one of the remaining players, and he had a very hot game just yesterday. He was one of the MVPs you could definitely look at as one of the stronger players from those games. He was really putting up numbers. Curious to see if he can
might run into
now.
Another trade south here. Nicely tagged. That was going to be a potential flank there. If they didn't rotate back there, I was kind of curious why Mob Squad were dropping back from here, and they maybe were feeling the pressure. SMC Tactical kind of came at them hot. You can see the X's on these on this Volk team, and they are sort of pushed very upward, away from their objective. They're not in defensive positions. The 2 remaining left on SMC Tactical are sitting back. Maybe that aggressive defensive style not really paying off, but we'll see if they can hold here.
And Mr. Beefy having a look around. Of course, he's playing quite far back with his teammate, trying to play the objective now. As they are down to just 2 of them, Arsenic is considering that western side. He does have his teammate Pikachu just by his side as well. They can start working their way forward, but with that aggression that you highlighted coming in from SMC, you have to be very, very careful on trying to clear all these close corners, because you don't know if someone's still pushed up, if there's someone trying to go on a flank, or if maybe Hooney's starting to do a little bit of a wander here as well. He's getting up to that position we saw work very well for him last time.
Yeah, that's a very nice spot, and he actually has his other teammate to cover the Mr. Beefy to cover the longer angle, so he doesn't have to wait for the Arsenic to push towards objective. Mr. Beefy has a chance of getting that tag, and some unsavory frags coming out from Pikachu. He's a little disappointed with that toss. And it's hard. It's hard to throw these nades. You have to actually physically throw them, and sometimes you just don't feather it in where you want it to. It rolls a little too far. It's not an exact science. It's all on your skill of throwing nades.
3 minutes. There's a lot of time on the board. They do not have to rush this. Mob Squad can be quite patient in their play. Try and get into SMC's heads. And the first port of call would be this man here, Beefy. He's going to be holding the angle as best he can through that nice little white picket fence.
Surprised he's not sitting behind that trash can. You'd think you'd want to use
that
that
a little bit of cover. But maybe he feels this off angle will do the job. We do have Arsenic prone down, trying to deny line of sight. Going to get to maybe a further position, slightly wider on towards the angle that maybe Mr. Beefy would be considering.
Yeah, and I guess they just don't see each other there. Arsenic somehow managing to sneak by. He's sitting behind this. If he can manage to move over to this Humvee and then they can coordinate a push, Arsenic has the potential to pick Beefy and they can be on objective in a heartbeat.
Let's keep eyes on Arsenic here as well. Pikachu just needs to hold for now, keep the angle safe, watch the flank, let Arsenic try and make a little bit of a play off the back of it. Hooney's not going to be moving either. You've got pretty much a lockdown position. Pikachu working his way towards a little bit more of an eastern, more centralized spot, maybe work his way down the alley if he feels like it, try and get that pressure going, but But now we're waiting for shots to come through. Do they spot each other? Arsenic looking out. Mr. Beefy is there, but very hard to see. You said about that trash can, that little bit of bin that might be keeping him out of sight, and I'm wondering if Beefy could see him as well. Arsenic now works his way forward. Very tricky to see.
I almost think Camel working in both people's favor there. The Humvee blending Arsenic in and Mr. Beefy blending into the trash can.
Unexpected angle. Did not expect it. Mr. Beefy was maybe predicting they'd come around the fence as he was watching that angle for. Not to be the case. Arsenic played it really nicely, denying line of sight all the way up here towards that Humvee. And now we're going to have to see if he can work his way forward. Bear in mind, we saw Hooney do wonderful in this sort of spot. Well, not actually him, but I mean, this spot working out well before. Let's see if they check on it this time. Look at the positioning. It's kind of a split here. Working around, Poopachu going to be taking first contact on this one. He's surely going to clear this. They know it's going to be there. There it is. Great work from Mob Squad.
Really impressive job right now. Mob Squad with an early 2-0 victory. It's exactly what you want to kind of shut down that early momentum that SMC Tactical might be riding off that win. And they're going to be going into a Volk defensive. That was a nice Marsoc pickup for them. Into a Volk defensive for a 3-0 potential lead here into our first map on Suburbia. I don't expect SMC Tactical to roll over here. I think we're going to see a play that they have in the books, something that they know is going to work. A lot of smokes, a lot of flashes. Curious to see where the objective is. It's a big point of interest on Suburbia. It can mean the world of difference if you play it slow or if we're going to see a 5-minute round.
I don't know what to expect here. I feel SMC again are just kind of going through the motions at this point. It's going to be hard for them to refocus. So many emotions in that last game.
Yeah.
That was a very long series, very drawn out as well. Coming into that, I mean, you have to just bounce back. You've got to be able to shake it off. And these guys, again, I don't know how long you'll be playing online for. I'm not sure if you're used to these sort of days and under this sort of pressure. We know that stage gets real hot. These players get warm. They're operating at 110%. Right?
Yeah.
This is when you're not just relaxing anymore. You're not just playing at home with your friends. This is where you want to deliver. For them, they are going to be feeling this. And Mob Squad, they're playing a good game. We're seeing them mentally coming into this really clear.
Yeah, I can't, when you play at home, you have this time where you can pop the headset off, you can take a break, you can grab a sip of water, you can kind of sit down and relax. Here these guys are round after round after round, a little break, another map, round after. These series are tough, so I think maybe the thousands of hours they have in the game comes in handy here.
Yeah, you're right.
They're used to playing the game so much that a little extra sweat, a little soreness is nothing terribly new to these guys.
I'm just going to make note, Arsenic's jeans are okay for now. I do not see a knee rip here. He's gone from just the normal cargo jeans to actual jeans. So he's gone for the more weathered approach. But by the end of it, we'll see probably like a rip here and there, and it turns into jorts.
Like he got mauled by a tiger or something. Yeah, those. I wish we could go back and.
Well, let's see if there's comms here real quick.
Yeah.
So straight to middle house? No.
There was a consideration of middle house there, but
Yeah.
did that get called off? It might have been Landon Jordan saying no, or I'm not sure. Again, this could be quite interesting. This could be a curious approach.
Yeah, it looks like they did call off their straight up the middle approach. They have a really hard 5-man rush that I've seen only one time of them pulling it off, and they come straight up this middle. And Plot's actually trading there. These trades are just devastating. I feel like a trade's worse than anything because you got your kill, but you're not satisfied. Now
Exactly. You don't get that like reward from it, right? You don't feel like I've done enough. It feels like I could have just done a little bit more.
Yeah. And actually some really aggressive positioning over on that east side here, already pushed up to the burning building in the playground. They want this side of the map. If you can get this side of the map, what you can do is you can cross that south street, push up to where you see that barbed wire, and once you're up against that barbed wire, you have all sorts of freedom to smoke objective, push up towards objective, wrap around the house. It enables a lot, so they want this side, and Nolamite denying it.
Nolamite's looking good here. Stronghold. Mob Squad looking like they are really putting down the pressure towards SMC. And Jordan, great player. We saw those 2 kills yesterday. Phenomenal. Integral towards SMC's work when they push around that corner towards him.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, run, boy, run. He does get away in time, but maybe feeling out the player. He may have known Plots is there, but Nolamite not going to rest on the laurels. He goes around again. This man is just a man possessed when he gets into this mood. He finds that room to really find these kills.
Yeah, it's going to be up to Landon and his remaining teammate. Actually, now a 1v5, going to be incredibly hard to come back from this. Nolamite's actually going out on a tear on that east side, and he's going to try and come around for the flank here. He does not want to wait on this win. He wants it now.
Yeah, he's eyeing up those finals. He's got somewhere else to be, apparently. He's a busy boy, but Huni again, you know, it's that feeling like, what can I do? I'm in a 1v5 here. Playing as best he can, but let's see if his heart's in. It does get shut down. Nolomite again, just what a player.
Wow.
We didn't see that in full effect yesterday. It was a little bit lesser to a degree, but I mean, at the moment, he is playing such a stellar brand, and he's finding that room to work. Maybe it being SMC being slightly off point here, maybe a little bit tired and not watching those flanks, but now he is playing a huge game.
Yeah, that was really nicely done. I think...
There's the knee. There it is in full display. Thank you, production. Very nice. Very
yeah, that's
nice.
from yesterday there. Totally torn open jeans. We'll see if we get a similar effect today. I certainly hope so. But yeah, that's I noticed a few things there in that round. Plots was in positions that I saw similar to Globochem. So I think he's going in, he's learning. These guys are looking over details of maps. They're seeing what positions are working for certain teams, and then they're replicating them on their own squad. But Nolomite, man, yeah, we did not see that from him.
Yeah.
We did not see that from him yesterday.
Not to that effective level.
Yeah, at the start of the rounds when he was playing, he did very well, and then.
Okay. Hold on, I think we might have a mob squad listening. Once we get to this game, we get into it, I think we're going to try and tune in with them specifically and hear what they're up to.
Yeah, we want to pop right into these comms at the start of rounds.
I'm going to hold here until I hear from you guys, all right?
Cool. All right, let's do it, boys. All right, we're ready when y'all are.
Taking their time there on the calls. I think that was just in that little pre-match area where they're doing the strategies, so most of it's been said and done. Let's see if there's anything else to follow it up with, but it feels as though they did a lot of it said.
Yeah, Mob Squad.
Yeah, they're using that time effectively.
Yeah, they have some plans, and look at this they're playing this one a little slow. I mean,
well, this is the plan then, apparently.
Yeah, they're back at the spawn, and they're gonna wait. SMC Tactical have been playing very aggressive Volks, so it makes sense that you want to give some time for them to get into position, and then you go and move and try and get some picks when they're already aggressively pushed forward. But no one's really out of position here. You have a couple members of SMC Tactical inside the building, very safe and secure, and they should hear some footsteps here, so Pwnecake on alert. And then they also have the last 3 members of their team drop back on objective building. They're not going to let anybody cap that thing. SMC Tactical need this winner. They're down a map at the start of the semifinals. This gets you into the final match. This gets you a chance at the $5,000 prize money. So this is a big series here. You do not want to just throw away a map like this 4-0.
No. You want to fight back. We've seen that SMC can do it. We've watched them do this. But now they need to deliver.
That's absolutely true. If there's any team that can come back, it's these guys.
They've shown that grit, that determination. It seems to be part of who they are as a team, but it's hard when you're coming into this, and there you go. First strike for them, a clean opener. That might be what they need. Getting some opening picks that just sit well for them. And on the defending side, it needs to be happening like this.
Yeah, Huni waited for a good minute before he peeked that out, and he let Plots get way out of position before he peeked and got that shot. A really nice conservative play from Huni there, getting him an early pick, and that's exactly what you need. It looks like the approach from Mob Squad is going to be over towards the east more general, and they're going to try and push up from that barbed wire side I was talking about earlier. If they can smoke that south street and get across, they're in a really good position. And frankly, I don't think SMC Tactical have a good grasp on that east side of the map, so it's a smart move if they decide to stick with that play.
Nolomite, though, this guy has been a real terror.
Wow.
And he's being a terror again.
Headshot, that is devastating. I mean, just sees a sliver of a head peek up through that window. No room for error here against Nolomite.
He's showing a better brand than what we saw yesterday. We didn't see this sort of power coming out from him, but maybe this is why they put him in for this map. Maybe this is the specialty that he has here. He just feels out the game. He's got those roots on lock. And see Landon Jordan trying to deal with him next, I can imagine. Nolomite in the back lines here. Takes his time, not overextending on his own. He does seem to be an individual player, but a very hard area to breach here, considering where that objective now sits. It is right in enemy territory.
Yeah, I still do like their defensive spread. Having that one pick top story isn't devastating. It just does let Arsenic and Nolomite do things like this. They can come up on this east side here and just have free reign. If he can cross that street, he's in a very good position. And Landon actually probably won't let it happen if he's sitting over there watching.
See how close he can get Nolomite, though. How does he find this room? Landon Jordan, like a knife to the back. Nolomite is away. More fire comes towards him, but he's found a bit of cover now. Got to be careful. 2 players, eyes trained towards this. Where's his teammates? Nolomite's out on his own. He's trying to get up closer. This guy won't stop.
Captain Soda has to be watching him. He just took shots over. Maybe he thinks he tagged him. Nolemite's going through the smoke.
Oh
If he can get
my
inside.
God, Nolemite, this could be huge.
Nobody
Can he get away with
sees
it?
him.
Is he in?
He's in. He's
Please, can we just watch this guy right now? I want to see him on that objective if he gets any closer.
Hooney's the only one that is close to objective. He's sitting in the back there. If they can pick Hooney, this could be very bad. He has the pad out. He has the pad out. He pulled it out early so no one would hear the pad come out. He's memorized the code. Hooney has no idea he's here, and he's going to punch us in. He's going to give them a 5-0 victory.
This is incredible play from this individual, man. He has played out of his mind so far, and SMC have no idea what is happening under their nose. Mob Squad are about to destroy them, and it's done. It's dusted. Put a fork in it. That one is cooked. What a play coming out from that individual.
Oh my gosh, Nolemite, you animal. An absolute fantastic set of rounds on that map. Wow. I can't believe he did so well there. I wonder what his overall KD was. Had to be something pretty high.
Yeah, he was playing a perfect game for his team. I don't think you could ask anything more of an individual. I mean, he was aggressive. He found the routes. He didn't overextend. He didn't get caught out. I'm surprised there wasn't more of a reaction from SMC. They look a little stunned themselves.
Yeah, Beefy still sitting down, not happy with that cap. That's huge for Mob Squad. They're absolutely shutting down SMC Tactical's momentum.
Yeah, give that man a moment. He just played something that you do not often see. That's an individual in a team game playing very well, and that's hard.
Yeah.
You know, games like this, it is about the squad you're with. It's about the teammates you're with more often than not. But he, that time, really locked it out, and I'm sure the analysis are just as blown away as we are. So we're going to head over to them and hear what they had to say.
Thanks, Pansy and Nightfire, taking us through a somewhat shorter first map than we were accustomed to.
Wow.
It was a very, very strong start from Mob Squad there, that entire map. First two games a little bit more tentative, I feel, a bit of a slower pace. You know, got down to that 2v1, 2v2 scenario.
Yeah, 3-0 up wasn't. That's not the whole story. When it was 3-0 to Mob Squad, there was contest along the way.
It got to round number 3, right? And Mob Squad stuck into high gear and just flattened SMC. That third round, 5-0, 5 Mob Squad up, all of SMC down. And then in the fifth, in that last round, then getting that cap, that cheeky cap.
Oh God!
And that one, that is twisting the knife, isn't it?
I mean, we're just looking at this back here, and you can just see how Mob Squad did have a little bit of a head. SMT Tactical had a head start, but both times Mob Squad brought it back to this 2-on-1 scenario, and covering that base nice and easily. But there was no way they were going to get the cap. They just confirmed on the elimination, and then this was the round that you were mentioning, how it was just a complete whitewash from Mob Squad here. They.
No, this is the cap round.
In round 3 they had that, but yeah. Nolemite getting inside the enemy lines and just getting inside the house and finishing it up. It was...
At speed as well. Look at him go. Look at him shuffle along there.
Very...
It's got the Raptor action going on. Gets it done. And of course in this game, if you're not so familiar with Onward, SMC had no warning.
Yeah.
There's nothing, there's no HUD, there's none of those details. You don't even have a round timer that you can see, which is why in earlier games today, teams have been caught out by the fact that, your attack is over because you ran out of time. That's something that maybe, if you haven't played this, you don't realize. There's nothing on screen to tell you that. And likewise, SMC got no warning.
You have a watch on your hand in the game. You can do this.
Oh, yes, but as a HUD.
Yeah. Oh,
it's
yeah,
not there.
HUD.
Yeah, you actually have to go, what is it? Yeah,
what time is it?
Fair point. No, fair point. But in terms of a cap happening, there's nothing there going, the bomb is being diffused, the whatever is being the you understand.
So
no.
What's interesting here is that when you get the tablet out, you make a noise with the tablet, which also often gives away to the defender that they're being hacked, the uplink is being sent. What you saw Nolemite do was get the tablet out way nowhere near the objective, and it's smart, but it's really risky because if anyone sees you on the way there, you've got no defense.
You throw your tablet at them.
But your gun at that point is against your chest, right? You're getting ready to enter a code. You can't defend yourself. If anyone comes around, you're instantly dead. He rolled the dice. He won.
And that's what gets you from 3-0 to 5-0, which, to be honest, is a little bit unnecessary. Because 4 will do. But that is what a brave tactic does when you think you know what your opposition are and you really want to twist tonight. ESL.gg/VRL is where we are on Facebook. Do follow us on there, and if you want to see some more about the brilliant work that Stack Up does, who we've been supporting all weekend, then they are at stackup.org. We are well and truly underway into this losers bracket final. SMC, having got there, may not be hanging around in it much longer. We'll go to the second map after this short break.